Thank you, Dr. Deepamala, and those who attended in the session. Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning. This is the 2078th day of continuous webinar conducted by International Forum for Promoting Homeopathy. Today, our guest is Professor Dr. Renuka Patil. Let us begin the session with 1 minute silent prayer. Thank you all. The International Forum for Promoting Homeopathy comprises of homeopathy lovers, students, and doctors. We have 3 sessions every day. The first session of the day is already over in Hindi from 7:30 to 8:30, and from 8:30 to 9:30 we have the international session in English, and from 9:30 to 10:30 we have a local language session in Malayalam. We have so far uploaded 3,600 videos in YouTube. Those who missed the session can watch it from IFBH Homeopathy at YouTube. And those who want to share it with anyone, you can do it. There is no subscription fee for the same. And let me come to today's guest. Dr. Professor Renuka Patil has completed MD and is professor and HOD Department of Veterinary Medical, GMC, Bangalore. And she has more than 31 years of clinical experience and more than 27 years of teaching experience, and presented various sessions in different part of the in our India, and she has taken lot of sessions in IAPH both in Hindi as well as in English. And today, Doctor will be talking about role of homeopathy in the management of menopausal syndrome. As you all know that lot of uh, problems faced by women can be treated with homeopathy with precise prescriptions. So let us see what Professor Dr. Renuka Patil has to say about this. We proudly welcome you, madam. Welcome. Please unmute yourself.
Okay, sir. So, good evening. Good evening, all of you. I'm Dr. Renuka Patil from Government Homeopathic Medical College and Hospital, Bangalore. I'm working as a professor in the college from the past 27 years. My professional experience is more than 30 years. I have completed my degree. So, in the year. So, is it audible, sir? Am I audible to you, sir?
Yes, you are
Yeah.
visible and audible.
Okay, I have completed my actually so service in the government homeopathic medical college. Still, I'm working there, and my actually so today's topic is the role of homeopathy. So in the management of menopausal syndrome. Okay, so I will start my PPT presentation.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is my actually so today's.
Please, please
Is it,
reshare.
yeah,
When
is it clear, sir? Is
no,
it
no, it is
visible?
not not visible now. You may restart resharing. Please stop
Yeah.
sharing and then restart again.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
Yes,
Now it is visible.
visible now, sir. Okay,
You know,
fine.
again it was. You are coming joined by in the laptop or
No, I am actually so joined in the laptop only.
but it is coming with clear. But all of a sudden it was. Now it is coming. Yes, it is here. Don't I?
Okay, so
Okay.
yeah. So I will actually so start my topic. Role of homeopathy. So today actually so I am dealing with the role of homeopathy in the management of menopausal syndrome. As you all know that actually so it is a phase of a woman's life. So where you find actually so a lot of the signs and the symptoms. So where the woman come across so during her menopausal the phase. So the woman's life actually so begins with the menarche and ends with the menopausal syndrome. So in the journey of actually so the woman's life, the reproductive life from the menarche till the menopause, so she has to face lot of problems. So starting from the menarche till the menopausal actually so age group. The menarche, so the normal age of a girl which starts between 14 to 18. Okay, so this is the proper age where actually so the girl start actually so menstruating. So this is the first phase of a woman. So then second phase actually so they enter into the pubertal age group, and the last phase is a menopausal age or the menopausal phase. Okay, so today let's know about actually so the what is a menopausal syndrome, and we'll study about the classification of the menopausal syndrome also, and what are the signs and the symptoms and the clinical features so where the lady suffers during the menopausal phase. And next is what are the investigations to be intended to confirm the diagnosis of the menopausal syndrome. And next is the complications which actually so the lady could arrive when it is not taken care properly, or when it is not approached properly. So when the lady has the severity of the symptoms or intensified symptoms of the menopausal syndrome, okay, so they may end up with the complications of the menopausal syndrome. And finally, so coming to the homeopathic part, so what's a therapeutic actually, so the role of the homeopathy so in treating such menopausal syndrome and all, what's your actually so the strengthened part of the therapeutics to deal with the menopausal syndromes. These are actually so the objectives which I am going to share from my end, so in this lecture. So, coming to the introduction of the menopausal syndrome, menopause is described as a complete cessation of a ovarian follicular activity, where results in cessation of the menstruation for 12 months or more than that. And it is when estrogen and the progesterone level in the woman start declining, which can create a lot of unwanted symptoms like hot flashes, night sweat, vaginal dryness, sleep disturbances, and more. So this is we can call it as actually so the hormonal imbalance which likely to occur during this menopausal phase. Okay, the estrogen level reduces. Okay, so even the progesterone level also reduces, which brings a lot of actually so the changes in the physical plane and as well as emotional plane, and even in the cognitive plane also. Although it is a physiological phenomenon, the menopausal symptoms, which can be so severe that, so intensified that, interferes with the day to day activities. Unfortunately, most of the women, they are not aware of all these changes, what's happening with their body. Why actually so they are not actually so coming out with the normal menstruation and as well as normal reproductive, so the changes which occurs in the body. So most of actually so the ladies are not aware of it. So though they are suffering with the intensity of the abnormal symptoms which related to the reproductive life. The coming to actually so the statistical part, so the almost so the less number of actually so the ladies, so they will be actually so able to identify the actual symptoms of the menopausal syndrome. And the coming to the age group, what is the age group where the menopausal phase begins? In the North American society, menopausal society estimate that the actual age of the menopause typically occurs between 40 to 65 years worldwide, but it is not the scenario in India. According to the Indian Menopausal Society, the estimated mean age of the menopause is 46 years in India, and which may actually so the continue up to 51 years also. So it won't exceeds more than 51 or 52 years in the Indian lady, but in the American as well as the Western countries, so it may actually so go up to 65 years. The quality of the aging population is now becoming issue, and menopause and associated hormonal changes impact the standard of living in elderly women. Okay, it's directly we can say that it is related to the standard of living also. Okay, and the second thing is nothing but actually so age. So it so even it is nothing but actually we can say it is a hereditary trait also. suppose if the mother actually, so the attaining menopause at the age of 51 or the 52 years, so it continues actually, so we carry on to their daughters also. So the more or less, so they also actually so get the menopausal attainment at the age of 50 or 51. So it's nothing but actually so runs in the family. So this is also one of the factor. And second factor is nothing but standards of living also, which interferes in attainment of the menopause. Then coming to actually so the classification. So these menopause can be classified. So the different phases can be noted here. One is a perimenopause. So this is a perimenopause which starts, so the before starting the true symptoms of the menopausal. So the syndrome, so which begins 3 to 4 years before actually so attainment of the menopause, and followed by 1 year of total cessation of the menstruation or amenorrheal phase, which also included. And many perimenopause is associated with anovulation cycles and menstrual problems such as menorrhagia and metrorrhagia. Okay, before the attainment of actually so the menopause, actual menopause, so the symptoms start starts slowly, so begins actually so the earlier years also, 2 or 3 years before the attainment of the menopause. So in the form of actually so the menstrual irregularities in the menorrhagia and metrorrhagia and polymenorrhea. So all these actually so amenorrhea, all these actually so problems so likely to occur. And coming to actually so the menopause, the premature menopause and early menopause and artificial menopause. Premature menopause is nothing but actually so attainment of the menopause before the age only, before 40 years of age. So as I said, so early directly it is related to the the lifestyle. So the disorders also, so the lifestyle changes also. Okay, so there are actually so some ladies, so they get their actually so menopausal the phase early age only, before that to 40 years. So it's directly linked with their lifestyle behavior. Okay. And second thing is nothing but actually so it's a mechanical one. So artificial one, we can say that it's an artificial menopause because of the some problems, so so the surgical actually removal of the ovaries and all, oophorectomy and all the conditions, like so the PCOS, chronic PCOS, so the cases and all, and even ovarian cancers. Okay. And so the malignancy of the uterus and all. Okay, so the malignancy of the the cervix and all, so the complete hysterectomy cases, and as well as the partial hysterectomy cases, and as well as the oophorectomy surgical conditions and all. So in all these interventions, so the lady will actually so gets the early menopause because of artificial removal of the reproductive organs. It's mostly due to surgical intervention such as removal of ovaries, and as well as even to the damage of the ovaries also. Okay, and the third is nothing but post menopause. A period after the menopause is considered to be the post menopause, and there are actually some complications which likely to occur even after attainment of the menopause. For example, actually, so the bleeding will stop actually, so won't be there. So after the attainment of the menopause, 1 year or the 2 years. So if actually the cycle starts, if the ladies start actually so menstruating after attainment of the menopause, okay, after 2 years, okay, so you can suspect actually so malignancy, okay, malignancy of the uterus. Okay, so this appears in the form of a complications. Okay, so these are the different actually, so the phases of the menopause. Perimenopause, next is the artificial menopause or the prematurely attainment of the menopausal phase, and the third one is complications of the postmenopausal phase. Then coming to the clinical features, so you can actually so list out more than so 20 to 30 clinical features. So individual to individual, so based on the individuality the symptoms also varies, especially the common signs and the symptoms where the lady comes across during the phase of the menopausal syndrome are the important key symptoms are hot flushes, so which is experienced by almost all the ladies. So this is the first important, foremost important symptoms of menopausal syndrome. Hot flushes on the face, neck, chest and all. Then sleep problems, sleep disorders. The pattern of the sleep is totally changes here. Okay, so the sleep disorders are the insomnia. Okay, so this also could be actually the important clinical feature of menopausal syndrome. And third one is so the heart complaints also, palpitations, anxiety. Okay, so all these things will be there. And the lady feels exhaustion, easily gets exhausted, even actually so doing a small kind of any kind of the physical work and all, they go into a state of actually exhaustion. And sexual problems like lack of libido, okay, and decreased libido, okay, lack of interest, okay. So all these things actually so they usually suffers. And vaginal dryness also. And next is nothing but they may come out with a, so some of the ladies come out with the joint affections, muscular pain, and low backache also, body ache, myalgia. Okay, so all these, so the factors or the symptoms are actually so crop up during the menopausal phase. And next is bladder complaints also quite possible. Incontinence is also one of actually so the symptoms which likely to occur during the menopausal so the phase. Most of actually so the systems gets affected from top to bottom. We can say that so starting from the scalp, so the physical symptoms like hair loss will be there, excessive sweating on the face, excessive sweating on the neck, and as well as the chest area, hot flushes to the face will be there. And so the cognitive changes also which could occur, lack of concentration or difficulty in the concentration, so weak memory, so dizziness, all these things. And they may suffer with the headache and as well as even the migraine also. And next actually so the gum problems also likely to occur during the menopausal phase. And changes in the body odor, excessive perspiration, okay, so and irregular heartbeat. And as well as some may notice about actually experience about the breast pain also, complaints about the breast pain. And next is nothing but the physical symptoms like so weight gain, excessive, so within a short period so the weight gain will be noticed in the menopausal phase. And sometimes actually so they come out with the digestive problems like bloatedness, indigestion, and as well as so digestive problems, okay, all these things will be there. And genitourinary dryness of vagina, so loss of libido, and as well as irregular cyclical bleeding. As I said, so especially in the perimenopausal, the phase, so the lady may come out with the complaints like irregular cyclical bleeding. So menorrhagia will be there, metrorrhagia will be there. Sometimes they experienced, so polymenorrhea also, and amenorrhea. They may get their periods once in 2 months or once in 3 months. Okay, and so the flow is also very short. Okay, the quantity of the flow is also very short. Okay, so these are all the menstrual problems they are likely to actually so experience during the the phase of the menopause. And apart from that, so the locomotor system joint affections which are very much marked, direct relation to that is nothing but deficiency of the vitamin D. And yeah, and calcium also. So because actually so the hormonal imbalances like estrogen and as well as progesterone, so estrogen which which helps in actually absorption of calcium during actually so the normal state. But when the estrogen secretion is very less, the lack of absorption of the calcium from the body, which may brings about the conditions like osteoporosis and all. Okay, so they may finally end up with the osteoarthritis, okay, and osteoporosis. Then next is sleep disorders. As I said, insomnia is the major problem with the menopausal phase. They won't get actually proper sleep and all. Out of that, so the totally, the mental stability, so or the balanced state of actually so the mind is disturbed. Okay, so they may end up with the the complaints like so the mental symptoms like irritability, mood swings will be there, and some kind of emotional disturbances also, anxiety, and kind of depressions. Okay, so all these actually so the symptoms they may so experience during the the menopausal phase. And sometimes night sweat is also more marked. And some ladies may get actually excessive sweating during nighttime also, in daytime also. So which actually, so these hot flushes appears every, 1 minute or the 2 minutes excessive. So sweating will be, so the scene observed on the face, and as well as even the neck and the chest also, so totally drenched with the sweating. So these are actually, so could likely to occur because of the hormonal imbalance. Okay, irregular, as I mentioned, so menopausal symptoms can be listed here: irregular periods, hot flushes, night sweat, sleep disturbances, and mood swings, and change of libido. All these things, so all the system wise actually. So I explained cognitive changes also, then emotional disturbances also, and the physical changes which occurs in the digestive system, urinary system, genitalia or reproductive system, and as well as locomotor system. Okay, and apart from that, the something, so other things like, so the changes which could occur in the, the skin also. The skin allergies are likely to occur also, and as well as changes in the body odor, and the offensive perspiration also. And sometimes, so they have the itching of the skin, and all these things are also the symptoms. And some actually experienced the tinnitus also, ringing in the ear, and tingling of the extremities and all. Okay, all these actually additional symptoms. As I said, so it varies from, the woman to woman also. All these symptoms need not be present in the menopausal phase, so depends on actually, so individuality, or so woman to woman these symptoms changes. Okay, what's actually, so the cause behind these hot flushes? So as I said, hot flushes to the face. Okay, sudden rush of the blood to the face. It's mainly because of the decline in the estrogen level. Decline in the estrogen level is mainly due to the decrease in the ovarian function. So this estrogen helps to stabilize the hypothalamus or body temperature. The main, actually, one of the function of this estrogen is which stabilizes the hypothalamus, and hypothalamus which regulates the body temperature. The lowest estrogen makes the system unstable, and hypothalamic dysregulation. This in menopause, the thermoneutral zone becomes narrowed, increase in the body temperature, which triggers the heat loss mechanism, and the neurotransmitter changes which occurs reduces the estrogen, uh, reduced estrogen level increases the neurotransmitters, and norepinephrine and as well as the serotonin, which play a key role in triggering the hot flashes. And due to that, vasodilatation occurs, sudden activation of the heat loss pathway leads to peripheral vasodilatation. Especially this vasodilatation increases the blood flow to the face and as far as the neck. Okay, to compensate that, so it activates the sweat glands. So out of it, so then excessive secretion of the sweating will be there over the face, and as well as even the neck also. This is actually, so the mechanism behind the hot flushes during the menopausal phase. Then coming to the investigations, menopause, which can be easily diagnosed on the signs and the symptoms. Suppose actually, so if you notice the the cessation of the menstruation for the past 1 year, okay, totally, or the lady actually so tells about, so she gets her periods once in 2 months or once in 3 months. Okay, lady aged about after crossing, so the 40 years of age group. Okay, so then with the symptoms like, hot flushes, okay, sweating also, excessive sweating on the face, and as well as disturbance of the sleep, insomnia, mental irritability and all. I forgot to tell you, mental irritability is one of actually, so the mental symptom of this menopause. Usually 90% of the ladies come out with the mental irritability, anxiety, and as well as depression, with the insomnia and sleep disorders. These are the typical actually, so the guiding symptoms, or the diagnosing symptoms, clinical diagnosing symptoms of the menopause. Okay, with the help of all these manifestations, we can actually so diagnose. It's a typical case of the menopause. Okay, and if at all it is necessary to diagnose in the in the in the state of a confusion and all, so if it is confused, or if it is not clearly giving the the diagnosing actually, so the symptoms of menopause, then need to be actually so diagnosed with the help of the investigations, FSH level and LH level. Usually FSH level is increased, follicular stimulating hormone, okay, and estrogen level is, estradiol is reduced, okay. But one thing, all the time it is not actually a confirmatory diagnosis, so for the the menopause, okay, especially for follicular stimulating hormone, okay. Then so this is about actually so the investigation part and all. And apart from that, so you can actually so advise the patient for the ultrasonography also, so to rule out actually so the amenorrheal causes and all, and as well as menorrhagia and metrorrhagia. So because other triggering factors are also held responsible to bring out the cyclical changes in a menstrual cyclical changes in a lady, especially like a fibroid uterus, okay. So and as well as the in the some of the malignancies, like so the cervical cancer and as well as endometrial cancer, okay. So all these actually so state also, and even the thyroidal, coming to actually so endocrine disorders, like so the thyroidal, the when the thyroid functioning is not proper, also brings about the menstrual changes also, and other the conditions like anemia and all, which is one of the major cause which may brings about amenorrhea. But overall, what I actually so the picture, so so what it gives you is you have to actually so take the proper the data from the lady, so pertaining to actually so the menstrual cycles and all, with the help of investigations, then you can actually finally diagnose the menopausal phase with the help of the the lab investigations, and as well as even the clinical manifestations also. The first is the clinical manifestations, which gives you in the 90% of the cases, so gives you the clear picture of the menopausal syndrome. And if at all added actually so lab investigations are needed, so then with the help of that, so you can confirm the diagnosis of the menopause. And coming to the complications, so you can get actually so lot of complications out of this menopausal syndrome. So as I said, so it gives you a lot of actually so the signs and symptomatology pertaining to the various systems, like digestive system, locomotor system, reproductive system, and as well as the genito urinary system, and as well as even the skin and all. Osteoporosis, coming to the locomotor system, osteoporosis, so osteoarthritis and osteoporosis. So because of lack of estrogen, so the calcium absorption from the body reduces, so which I mentioned earlier one, so which may leads to the osteoporosis. This could be one of actually so the cause, okay. So because of the hormonal imbalances which occurs in the body during the phase of menopause. And the second thing is CVS actually changes are also noted, coronary artery diseases. So because of atherosclerotic changes, okay, the excessive, the deposition of actually so the cholesterol, which brings about the coronary artery diseases also, okay. Obesity is also one of the thing, so symptoms. So during the phase of menopause, lady actually so tendency to so gain the weight, okay, during menopausal period, okay. So which may leads to the cardiovascular diseases and all. And next is nothing but the breast cancer also. So this is the last complications which may likely could occur because of the hormonal imbalances. So there are chances of actually so the breast cancer. So this is also one of the complications of uh, menopausal syndrome. And apart from that, so the complications of the menopausal syndrome, if it is not approached properly, and if actually so so with the intensified menopausal syndrome symptoms, if it is not taken care properly, or if it is not treated properly, so with actually so the suitable line of a protocol, then actually so they are likely to develop the complications. And so if they actually so come out with the severity of the, so the menstrual flow and all, so they may end up with the complications like anemia in cases of menorrhagia and metrorrhagia and all, okay. So that's the one part. So then next is nothing but actually, so there are chances of developing the other complications, like so the skin problems will be, so may crop up, so excessive itching, then vascular eruptions and all. Okay, so then, and the next is nothing but hair loss also. Okay, so the lady may actually so started, the hair loss also, losing the scalp hairs, so because of this. So this also one of actually so the complications, and the fatigue complete actually, so the cessation of mobility of the locomotor system because of the fatigue. So this also one of the thing. And obesity is also one of the symptom. So if it is also not taken care properly with the the with the proper line of actually, so the the management, general management and all, then other complications may crop up. Okay, so these are the complications which need to be addressed properly, and to avoid the further the risk to the body. Then coming to the management, which is very very important, how to manage. Because actually, so as I said, the causes are nothing but the imbalance which occurs in the the body, especially the the estrogen, reproductive hormones like estrogen, progesterone and all. So that's the main cause. And next is nothing but it all actually, so because of risk factors are nothing but considered to be, so then lifestyle changes and all. Okay, so that's a one thing. So so which may brings about the severity of the symptoms and all. Okay, so how to manage? So management actually, so with the general management and as well as specific line of management, with the intervention and as well as without the intervention. Okay, so let's start with actually, so general line of a management. How to manage? Management of the menopausal symptoms. The first thing is supplementation is very much required. As I said, so deficiency of the calcium, vitamin, and as well as the strontium, magnesium. Okay, all these things has to be supplemented in the form of so the dietary food. Okay, so like so yeah, melatonin, vitamin E. Okay, all these actually so can be so supplemented in the form of diet, and as well as even the direct actually, so the consumption of supplementations like calcium tablet, and as well as vitamin D tablets and all. Supplementary medication need to be actually so advised, so to compensate the loss of calcium, vitamin D, vitamin E, etc. And second actually, so the intervention is nothing but hormonal therapy. Okay, so in modern medicine, so they use the combination of the estrogen and as well as the progesterone. Okay, so to replace the hormonal deficiency which produced, okay, during the menopausal phase. Because usually the progesterone and estrogen secretion reduces. Okay, so deficiency can be fulfilled by supplementation of hormonal replacement therapy, estrogen and progesterone, so which gives in the combination form, so which will helps in so balancing the hormone, and resetting actually the symptoms back to its normal state. And the non-hormonal medications like so antidepressants like clonidine, gabapentin, and sleep medications also, min minoxidil and calcitonin. Okay, so these are antidepressant medications. Clonidine, so which this medicine helps, which is used to treat the high blood pressure. Okay, so thereby the hot flashes can be actually so reduced. And gabapentin tablet, which are used to treat the neuralgias, nerve pain, and it also helps in controlling the seizures and all. And this is also one of the medications, so which will be used to give the control the hot flashes. And third one is minoxidil, which helps in actually so the hair growth also. As I said, it's also one of the symptom, so the severe hair loss will be there. To compensate that, okay, so then minoxidil will be used in the form of external applications and all. And SSRI. So SSRI, so it is a selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor. So, so this SSRI is used to, or to control the emotional disturbances. Antidepressant, it can be used as an antidepressant to treat the anxiety disorders which occurs during the menopausal period. And to it also helps in actually so the improve the moods also. Okay, mood swings is a quite common, especially in the menopausal phase. By increasing the serotonin level in the brain, so this actually SSRI helps to improve the mood swings also. And apart from this, non-hormonal medication also, hormonal therapy, non-hormonal medications, and as well as supplementations. Okay, so deficiencies can be supplemented, and lastly, it is nothing but lifestyle changes. Okay, because this is one of the major actually, so the reason where the the most of the symptoms actually so the crop up, so during the menopausal period. Menopausal period, yeah. Then physical activities and breathing exercises, relaxation exercises, and abstinence from the alcohol and smoking. So okay, which are all the triggering factors, like the smoking, and as well as even drinking also, and exercises and healthy eating also, wearing the loose clothes and all. And so these are all advisable, especially so these are lifestyle changes and all. Okay, so how the exercises which helps in reducing the menopausal symptoms. First one is, you can advise the aerobic exercises and all, shown to improve the physical functioning and as well as so the fitness in the postmenopausal woman. And yoga is nothing but actually so which helps in the mood swings also, and so even it helps in actually so the depression cases, and as well as even the cognitive behavior therapy also can be introduced. And yoga which helps in especially controlling the mood swings and as well as even the depression. Then resistance training also, exercises like so weightlifting can also improve the bone densities. So these are the three type of actually so the exercises so which helps to reduce the menopausal syndrome: aerobic exercises and as well as doing the yoga actually so which is one of the good therapy to actually so control the emotional, so the abnormalities or the emotional symptoms of a menopausal lady. And even the resistance training also which strengthens the bones. And yeah, I have listed same hormonal therapy and all. Okay, so and lifestyle modifications, diet, healthy balanced diet should be given, and to proper exercises which to reduce the weight gain and all. Then regular physical activity reduce the hot flashes and improves the mood, and strengthens the bones. And triggering factors, as I said, so just to avoid the alcohol and as well as the spicy food and caffeine, and as well as smoking and all. Sleep, maintaining a cool bedroom and bringing about actually so the good atmosphere, so the locations, so so which helps in so having a good sleep, in the management of the sleep. And vaginal health can be actually so maintained by the estrogen creams, tablets and all. And mental health is nothing but yeah, cognitive behavioral therapy, so which can be recommended for managing the mood swings and as well as anxiety and depression issues. And alternative therapies, some of actually so some people may find actually relief through the therapies like acupuncture also, though but the evidences are very much limited. And so ayurveda, and even actually so the the other therapies by using, yeah, other therapies which can be actually so uh, you know advised so to manage the menopausal complaints and all. And let's know but actually so the role of homeopathy, especially in case of the homeopathic in managing the menopausal syndrome. One case I want to actually so present here, which I have treated in my OPD. So yeah, it's a menopausal, typically a case of a menopausal syndrome. So lady came with the complaints. A lady aged 50 years, you know, Hindu religion. and she's married and came with the complaints of irregular menses since 8 to 10 months. Her chief complaints, and she complains of a profuse sweating with the weakness on and off since 2 months. So these were the symptoms actually experienced by the lady. And coming to the history of the chief complaints, she said actually so irregular cycle since 8 to 10 months and profuse sweating with the weakness on and off 2 months. Weakness, aggravation, exertion is there, and exposure to sun and menstrual history. She actually so got her periods, last menstrual periods on 5/1/2025. Menses, the pattern of her menstrual cycles 1 to 2 months. Once in 2 months she used to get her period. Flow for 3 days, and flow contains a clot also. On one day she used to take actually so you know one pad, and second day two pads she uses, and third day three pads as such actually. So the flow was not much, so but the cyclical irregularity was there. She the cycles were so used to appear once in 2 or once in 3 months. And past history, nothing significant. And mental, so she complains that so irritability was over a small thing since 1 to 2 months. No, this was observed by a bystander. Okay, while taking the data, so inquiring the bystander, so they said, so she gets irritable for the small things also from the past few months. So this was the only, the mental symptoms noted. And coming to a personal history, diet was mixed and habits nil. Appetite increased, thirst 2 to 3 liters, desires juice, aversion nothing, urine 5 to 6 times per day, no burning, and not at night also. Bowel movement normal, nothing, and but sleep, unrefreshing sleep. The dreams nothing specific, and thermally patient is towards chilly. So these are actually so the data collected by the so the given by the patient. On general examination, freckles over the cheeks were there, and BP was normal. Vitals were normal, and on the basis of actually so these symptoms, so based on constitutional factors, so patient is chilly patient, and irritability is more marked, irregular menstrual cycles, gets her periods once in 2 months. Okay, and flow is normal only. So based on these, so then prescribed sapia 200 potency. Okay, so for the 3 days, and the second medicine was placebos was prescribed. Okay, for 15 days. So she came actually so after 10 days only, 28th to 3. Then complaints were profuse sweating with the weakness reduced, and better by 40%. She was better by 40%. So 40%. So in sweating and as well as weakness, and 4 to 5 times in 2 weeks. She used to get sweating 4 to 5 times in 2 weeks. And LMP was 5/1/25 only, same thing, no cycles. So she didn't get her periods. Complaints of irritability reduced by 30%. So these were the observation. And complaints of raised eruptions, one attack in last 15 days. And sleep disturbed slightly, but appetite good. No improvement with the sleep, but the sweating is better by 40%, and weakness is better by 40%. Irritability is reduced by 30%, and other generals all were good. And sapia 200, again one dose was given, and followed by actually so the indication of placebos for 15 days. Again actually she came on, so before completing of actually so the second course of the medicines came on 8/4/2025. Generalized weakness with a sweating more on face 2 times on 10 days. Then complaints irritability with a sadness and loss of interest to work reduced by 50%. Generals are good, sleep is of refreshing. Here the sleep is refreshing one, occasionally gets disturbed. So in this actually so the placebo was advised, was prescribed this time. and 4 pills for 3 days. And third follow-up, she came on 18/4, 2025. Generalized weakness and sweating is reduced. And she started actually sprouting or bleeding per vagina since 2 days. And flow is very scanty, drops of blood. And no dysmenorrhea, no clots, irritability is reduced totally, and generals were good. And again, actually, so placebo was prescribed for 3 days, then followed by rubrum. So this was the case actually. So and after that, so after a gap of 4 months, lady visited again, and so the menstruation actually so totally stopped, and and her sweating is totally stopped, and hot flushes also reduced, and so and weakness and as well as the fatigue is also reduced, and totally actually doing she was doing good. Okay, so this was the response of the the sapia, so in the menopausal lady. And after that, so then she stopped coming. Then and one fine day actually, so she came with the other complaints, the common complaints and all. She said actually, so she attained her menopause totally, and without any the disturbances and all. So she has completed actually, so taking the course of so the medicine for the menopausal syndrome, and she was fine with that. So this was actually the statement given by the lady. And coming to actually, so the in that way, what's the line of actually so treatment for this menopause? So you can choose actually, so based on the intensity of the symptoms and all. If the lady comes out with the severe intensified symptoms like so the sleeplessness, irritability, okay, too much of actually so depression and all, so with the mood swings, okay, so then emotional disturbances are in the too much level. So then based on that, so you have to go for the constitutional line of a treatment. Okay, so when actually, so the physical symptoms are more prominent compared to so the the mental symptoms and all, less of the mental symptoms. Suppose if the lady comes up with a severe actually menorrhagia, metrorrhagia, once in 15 days, she's getting her periods. Okay, so excessive flow is there, menorrhagia. So weeks together and 15 days together, so, so she's actually so bleeding. Okay, uterine bleeding is present. Okay, so she becomes very weak and all. Okay, so if that is the case, so just you have to treat actually so the acute phase of the the chronic conditions. Okay, so this acute stage has to be dealt first. Okay, so give actually so specific medicines to just to control the the excessive uterine bleeding and all. Okay, once actually it comes to a normal, then actually so you can choose a line of a treatment, a constitutional line of a treatment to treat the menopausal syndrome and all. So this is actually so the method of the treatment you can adopt in treating actually so the symptoms of the menopause. Okay, so there are actually so good number of medicines are there in homeopathy. Okay, so the constitutional medicines and as well as even the specific medicines which will take care of the condition. For example, hot flushes is excessive. Okay, so unbearable sweating is there and excessive, the hot flushes. If you notice, so you can go for actually so the specific medicines. Start with the specific medicines which controls. Okay, then slowly, so so you can choose a constitutional line of a treatment. Okay, so the medicines, the suitable medicines for the menopause, especially so in homeopathy, are can be listed as follows. Lachesis is the first remedy, which is a very good remedy for the climacteric period. Hot flushes are marked. Patient is a hot hemorrhage. As I said, excessive hemorrhage, menorrhagia, metrorrhagia, which is character of the blood is dark. Okay, violent menstrual pain, which is relieved by flow. Yeah, most of the complaints are better by flow in case of lachasis, which is a characteristic symptom. Sleep symptom aggravations. Whenever they try to sleep, so the complaints start actually so appearing. So the complaints will be aggravated. See, if that is the case, especially in the females who never get well seen from the change of life, have never felt well since that time. So if that is the case, so you can actually so thought of the lachasis, then sapia, which is also one of predominantly it's a female remedy. So you can think of this remedy. So the pubertal complaints and as well as even the menopausal complaints also, and post-menopausal complaints also in all the phases of the life. So this sapia, so which helps in treating the conditions of a lady. So in all the phases. Okay, sadness and irritability. Mentally, they are very much sad, irritable, alternate, alternating, and with indifference. Indifferent attitude is there. Okay, lack of libido if it is more prominent. So okay, so the lack of sexual desires. Okay, aversion to the opposite sex and all. Okay, typical symptoms you get in the sapia. Anxious over the trifles. Okay, weeping tendency is marked. Of course, so aversion to family, to the family members and loved ones and all. Aversion to questions. Mentally, they are very much irritable. Okay, and aversion to coition also is there. Vagina is very much painful on the coition, and hot flushes during the menopause with a weakness and perspiration. Hair falls out, and after the chronic headache at climaxes. Okay, indignation, indifference. Okay, so these are nothing but actually so the important, the mental aspects of the sapia. And the when coming to the thermals, so the chilly patient, highly chilly patient. Okay, mood swings also can be tackled, so treated very well with the sapia. So overall we can say that it's one of the the uh, in a suitable remedy, so a remedy for menopausal complaints. Then sulfur is also one of the polycus remedy, being antisoric remedy. So irregular distribution of the circulation causing a local burning, throbbing, and congestion also. Hot flushes will be there. Patient, so the body feels very hot. So head is hot and face is hot and chest and as well as even the neck is hot because of the hot flushes. Okay, so the thermally they are very hot, and menses, irregularity of the menses, and too late, short, scanty, thick, fall black, and vagina burns a lot, burning sensitive, and excessive perspiration all over the body. Offensive perspiration is there, hot flushes is there, hot patient. Okay, so then patient is always irritable. Okay, so if you, and with the sum of actually so the skin complaints like itching and as well as vascular eruptions. Okay, so when they develop during the menopause, you can think of this sulfur being a great antisoric remedy. And china is also one of the remedies when the lady complains of the fatigue, weakness because of a excessive, so loss of vital fluids, so in the form of a normal menstruation and all, so they goes into a state of a debility, exhausting discharges, so from the loss of vital fluids. Okay, so nervous arrhythmism. Okay, so you can think of china. Okay, so in case of menorrhagia, metorrhagia, and all, just to have a control over the bleeding, uterine bleeding, and all, China is a wonderful remedy. In most of the cases, whatever may be the cause, actually, so behind that, so either in cases of uterine, or fibroids, and as well as, the uh, in hormonal imbalances, conditions like hormonal imbalances like hypothyroidism and all, so the if the lady comes out with excessive bleeding, uterine bleeding and all, dysfunctional uterine bleeding, so you can think of china. Bursting is there, throbbing pain is there in the head, throbbing carotids is there, menses too early, dark, profuse clotted with the abdominal distension. If that is the case, so china which helps a lot. And belladonna and guanine, these are the two remedies which can, so say that is so anti, so the congestive remedy, congestion is the keynote of actually so both the remedies, which helps in actually so reducing the hot flushes, so the rush of blood to the face and as well as even the head also. Glaring eyes, throbbing of the carotids, excited mental state. Menses is also bright red with the clots too early, too profuse, hot gushing menses, offensive menses. Okay. Dryness and heat of the vagina is there in the case of belladonna. Belladonna, which is indicated for dryness of the mucous membrane. Okay. Then throbbing head in the temporal reason, aggravation least, motion, ambulation, letting the hair down, and red streaked meme. So you can think of belladonna. Glow 9, again the same thing. Climatic disturbances due to the menstrual suppressions. excellent remedy. Climatic flushing, okay, flush of feet and pressure in the head, nausea, loss of sense, vertigo, swelling of the feet, climatic disturbances, shudders, and weeps during the intermission of the pain, and fear she has been poisoned, diarrhea with a sudden stoppage of the menses, especially for the hot flashes and all. You can think of climatic disturbances. Okay, so you can think of Glow 9, so which is a great anti hypertensive remedy. And Calcarea asks, when actually so lady has the cardiac complaints during the climatic phase. Okay, so you can think of Calcarea as anxiety is there, sleeplessness is there. Okay, fleshy woman with the climatic phase, slightest emotions which brings about the palpitations. Okay, so you can give Calcarea hours. Aggravations, 3 a.m., sleepless, restless, and perspiring, rush of blood to head and left chest. Macar, especially so the complaints which appears before the menses, cold and coryza and nasal stoppage will be there. Menses too are late and scanty, thick and dark, and menstruation delayed and metrorrhagial complaints. Magnesium carb is an indicated remedy. Natrium, one more polycrest remedy, where you find actually so the cognitive disorders, and even the emotional disturbances like depression, anxiety. Okay, ill effects of the grief and long standing grief, anger will be there. So the person is irritable, gets into a passion about the trifles, vagina is dry, hot during menses. So ill effects of grief and fright and anger. So this is the main causative factors or elements in case of natremor, long standing grief or ill effects of a grief and fright and anger, depression.
Madam, our time is
Yes.
already over. We,
Yes, sir.
we
So
we can
this,
have a second session if possible. If
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
so,
Yes, sir.
please conclude.
It's over, sir. Almost okay. 1 minute. And irritable gets into patient about freckles and Vaisonide. This is one of the constitutional remedy actually. So you can think of even in case of menopausal syndrome. In that way, so many remedies are there, especially to treat the menopausal syndrome, like Ustilago, amyl nitrosum, and as well as even the carbovage and sanguinaria, graphitis. So these are the very good remedies to actually so give a the proper actually so the response to the menopausal complaints. Okay, so with this I will conclude my session. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Renuka Patil,
Yes,
ma'am.
sir.
It's
Yes,
really
sir.
a very good session, and you have almost completely covered the problems faced by women during menopause and what are the reasons and how it can be managed with homeopathy. And the case was also excellent, even though a short presentation. We
Yeah.
can have some more case presentation in the future. If you are ready, we can arrange a special session for some of your case presentation on this particular chapter.
Okay.
Since our time is over, I am
Okay.
waiting Dr. Manoj to say what of thanks to the session.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Nice presentation because homeopathy is a lot medicine which is capable of tackling such problems. So nice
Yes.
presentation on behalf of IFPH and expressing sincere thanks to Dr. Renuka and all those participants in this session. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Manoj, and those who attend the session. And thank you once again, Dr. Patil ma'am, for such a beautiful presentation in this evening. And tomorrow we will have a session from Dr. Tariq H. Pathan, MD, Associate Professor, Department of FMP, CVM, Homeopathic Medical College, and we will be talking on ECG basis to emergencies. Thank you once again, Dr.